Okay. Case A, case C, done. One case to go, and that's the longest one. Oh man. You kicked so much derriere at that impromptu trial yesterday. Those rebels were all like, "We're executing this punk. Mob justice. Rah rah rah." But you were all like, "This isn't how we do things in France, chicken pluckers." And then they were all like, "Sparrowson, let's get serious for a moment." Serious? You just pulled off the craziest loitering move in the history of French law. We should be celebrating. We don't have time to pull out the champagne. Didn't you see the anger in the rebels' eyes? Didn't you feel the tension in the air? We're just days away from violence breaking out onto the streets. Oh, yeah. I guess another revolution might be around the corner. But what exactly can we do? We already told the police everything we know. Unless... You're not thinking of arming yourself to the teeth and fighting the rebel forces yourself, are you? What? No. You watch far too many action operas. I was thinking of preparing a legal case. A case? For whom? At their core, all historical revolutions center on trials. A nation's rulers are tried and held accountable for their crimes. But you saw the horrendous trial that took place last night. Nobody cares about due process when emotions are running high. Regardless of the outcome of the revolution, we need to make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity for justice. That makes sense. So what's the plan? We head to Quaniel's tavern and hand out some business cards? Think bigger. Who will the rebels target? The king? Exactly. To the police royale. Eagle-Eyed. Falcon and Sparrowson rushed to the police royale to arrange a private audience with the king. After filling in a pile of forms, the two were led to a waiting area. Are you here to see the king? That's right. Okay, take a number and wait to be called. Take a number? Yep, just wait your turn. More fools have come to see the king. Let me guess. Lawyers. That's right. How did you... Hey, I know you. You're the Prime Minister. Monsieur Guizot. Oh, wow, you're right. Spare the formalities. You two are here to offer the king legal aid, aren't you? Yep, we're going to offer him assistance for the upcoming rebellion. Let me give you a word of advice. Don't bother. Excuse me? The king doesn't take kindly to any form of criticism. He buries his head so far in the sand that one could swear that he is an ostrich. One would think that 7 assassination attempts would be enough for a man to learn that he is detested. With all due respect, Prime Minister, I think the King of France is mature enough to not let his ego get in the way of senses. So one would think. 24? That's us. It was a pleasure meeting you, Monsieur. Good luck. You'll need it. 24. Calling number 24. Good day, Your Majesty. Good day, messieurs. Can I help you with something? Oh, I probably should have prepared a speech beforehand. That would have been smart, huh? Just wing it. Right, let's see. How to start? Your Majesty, what I am about to say is of the utmost importance. Please listen closely. Okay, I'm listening. A great evil has besieged your kingdom. As we speak, revolting revolutionaries are plotting to remove you from power. Goodness, whatever shall I do? We are sure that such a pitiful revolution will blow over in no time at all. Nonetheless, we would all like to humbly offer our aid as lawyers. We may be of great use to the throne in this troublesome time. I think I understand. You do? I understand that you're a pair of con artists attempting to screw a self-made bourgeoisie out of his hard-earned cash. You have some nerve to even imply that my people hate me. I am the citizen king. I am beloved by all. Beloved kings tend to experience fewer assassination attempts. Beck, have these two crooks thrown in jail. Maybe that will teach them a thing or two about respect. Right away, Your Majesty.
You can't be serious. Oh, he was serious.
Well, this is another fine mess you've gotten me into.
There's no need for the attitude, Spetterson. We'll not be in here for long. Once we receive a court hearing, the judges will no doubt dismiss our charges instantly.
And how long will it take for us to get a court hearing? Tell me that, Monsieur Smarty Pants.
A week or so, I'm guessing. I can see why they might be a problem. The revolution could be in full swing by then. What to do?
We could try escaping.
Don't be ridiculous. Nobody has ever escaped from the concierge before.
But nobody's ever locked the genius Sparrowson and his witty lackey, Falcon, into the same jail cell before.
It's an absurd suggestion.
Got any better ideas?
Okay, let's break out of prison.
Fantastic. Look, Falcon, a loose brick. We could wait for a guard to transfer us to someplace, sneak up behind them, and then...
And then we get a death sentence for murder. I think not. Let's search a little harder.
There's a little dent here. One of us could hide.
Hide? What would that accomplish?
Well, the guard would eventually come in and be like, "Where's the other prisoner?" And then we use the momentary confusion to push him over and escape.
Do you really think an experienced guard would be confused by a prisoner hiding in a little hole in the wall? We can do better. A fireplace. It's been bricked up, so escaping up the chimney isn't an option.
There's a bit of scrap metal in this hole. I think it broke off an iron shackle. We could dig through the stone walls with this. See? It's all scratchy.
That may actually work, if we had a decade or two.
So that's a maybe on the stone digging scheme.
Well, I'll keep it in mind in case the king decides to go all Count of Monte Cristo on us.
A ledge! Give me a leg up and I can grab on and shimmy my way over... somewhere.
Let's be honest, Sparrowson. Neither of us have the physical prowess to be shimmying anywhere.
Alright, well that's everything.
I give up.
So soon?
Yes. Trying to escape from a notoriously inescapable prison wasn't the smartest plan we have ever devised.
Well.
That voice. That condescending tone. Just what are you two bird-brains doing? Severin, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. The injuries I sustained were mostly superficial. The doctors advised me not to do anything strenuous anytime soon, but he gave the all clear for returning to my job. So tell me, why did I get a memo informing me that J.J. Falcon and Sparrowson were being held in the concierge for treason?
It's all Falcon's fault.
Naturally. I figured that. If a revolution is inevitable, then we should do our best to ensure that the uprising proceeds in an organized manner. The less bloodshed, the better.
Okay, so what did you do?
We offered the king our assistance. We said that we would defend him in court, if and when such a need arises.
Well, we didn't quite use those words.
This isn't the first time that the king has had someone imprisoned for something so pointless. What a pig-headed fool. Consider your charges dropped.
Right, let's get out of here.
Hold on. You've caught my interest with this idea of yours. A bloodless revolution. You are absolutely right in that if the king is captured, the citizens will devolve into an unruly mob of animals. We should prepare for a formal trial. No, we should preempt it.
We? You're going to help us?
Of course. This isn't a task that we can handle by two birds alone. What do you mean by preempt, Severin?
We go on the offensive. We charge the king with crimes against the French people before the rebels can even act.
We can do that.
We can certainly try. I'll start building the case against the king. My argument will be focused on the king's gluttonous and irreverent fiscal policies, his lack of commitment to his social-political promises, his overall ineptitude and irresponsibility on all facets of his duties as a monarchical ruler, and obviously, his denial of universal suffrage. Obviously.
How am I supposed to defend the king from all of that?
You can't.
If you try to argue with facts and logic, this hypothetical trial would inevitably result in a landslide guilty verdict. So I suggest that you take a different approach. Appeal to the king's character. Try to win people's hearts. As the citizen king. He hasn't been called a citizen king for like 10 years. Here's just a suggestion. But consider this. You don't need to win the case. You just need to make a strong enough argument that the trial is fair. All that remains is ensuring that the king can be peacefully brought to the courthouse when the protests start to turn violent. That's a job for the police and royal guard. I'll inform Inspector Volerty of our plan so he can prepare accordingly. At least, I would if I could find him. Inspector Volerty is missing? Apparently, he has taken an informal leave of absence since Wednesday. Hold on, Falcon. One thing eludes me. As you probably figured, Inspector Volerty had me perform an investigation into your past. I thought you were the Viridian killer, crazy as it sounds. And, well, I'm sorry for doing that. It was quite invasive of me. But I can't help but wonder. Why did you change your name around 1830? Because I was ashamed, I suppose. I had a family name to live up to. My grandfather was something of a successful lawyer. So when I turned up to my classes at law school, people would gawp at me. They would say, "Wow, you have big shoes to fill, and your grandfather would be proud." But I was a terrible law student, mediocre at best. I knew that, deep down, I would never be half the man my grandfather was. Fascinating. I had no idea. Who is your grandfather, if you don't mind me asking, Falcon? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he was just another overly opinionated rebel who died in the old revolution. I see. Well, let's not dilly-dally any longer. We have duties to carry out.
Right. We're going to find anecdotes, and we're going to defend the king, whether he likes it or not. Visitors, Monsieur Volpes. Visitors.
If it isn't Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson, how may I help you two today? We're doing very well, Monsieur, but we don't have much time left, so let me cut to the case. Cut to the chase. We're collecting positive anecdotes about the king. Would you happen to have any? Positive anecdotes, eh? How curious. As it happens, I have met the king twice. Once, as you know, I was in my Juan Guerrero persona. Oh, right. Of course. I don't think that story will be any use to us. What was the other incident? I can't tell you, but there is a price. Are you serious? You're such a money grubber. A fox has to eat, monsieur. Fine, fine. How much do you want? 40 francs sound good? 10,000. Sounds good. Sparrowson, pay the man.
I don't know how bourgeoisie you think we are, Falcon, but neither of us are bourgeoisie enough to front that amount of cash.
No matter. I'm sure you'll think of some way of repaying the debt.
Between that and my medical bills, we should be ready to afford basic things like food by the year 4000.
Let's not worry about the debt for now, messieurs. Let me just tell you the story. It was several years ago. 1841, I believe. I was lingering around the Ile del Cité. I was in pursuit of an investigative lead, so I had adopted the persona and outfit of a sickly beggar. That was when I was approached by a kind-faced man. It was the king himself. He took a 20-franc coin out of his pocket. The king gave money to a sick beggar? Or at least, someone who looked like a sick beggar? That's great. We can use that. I'm not done, monsieur. The king took the coin out and said, "I know what it is like to be poor. When I was your age, I only had 1,000 of these to my name." Then he pocketed the coin and left. Oh.
I'll make a note. Gave financial advice to the poor and needy.
I hope that anecdote was of some use to you, monsieur. He might be, but I don't feel that we got 10,000 francs worth of material. I see. No matter. Just keep me in mind if you ever see a potential client. We will. Have a pleasant day, monsieur.
Time for some shopping, Falcon?
Maybe later. For now, we need to find people who have spoken to the king. He's been known to pass through Les Halles on occasion, so if we're lucky...
Hey, messieurs, it's us, remember?
We remember. Are you keeping well, madame?
Absolutely. Never been better. So what can I sell you today?
Information. We're looking for positive stories about the king. I don't suppose that you have any.
The king? No, I haven't got nothing to say about the king. The king's a smelly egg thief. Quiet, child. You know what they say about the king having spies everywhere. Spies?
Calm down, Sparrowson. The rumors of the king having an elaborate spy network are patently untrue.
Then how do you explain the shutdown banquets, huh? The government's clamping down on anyone who dissents, you know?
Let's get this conversation back on track. Joy, can you tell us why the king's a smelly egg thief?
My name's not Joey. Nothing you need to concern yourselves with, messieurs.
Please go on, madame.
Don't worry, we aren't spies. At least, I don't think we are. I know, I trust you guys. See, a couple of years ago, we were running a shop. An antiques and odds and ends shop. And we had an egg. It's this golden egg. Super precious. We must have bought that thing for 200 francs, but it was easily worth 10 times that. We were pinning on making a tidy sum from it.
I see. An investment egg. So what happened?
Well, one day we were visited, by the king no less. And old King Lou Phil shows an interest in our egg. So we were thinking this would be our chance to make bank, right? But the geezer just goes off and waddles off with it.
Without paying you?
Oh yeah, he paid us all right.
What's this?
The coin one of the king's guards flipped our way. It isn't even French. I think this is British. One of those crazy imperial unit coins from a crazy imperial company.
I have no idea what the British-French exchange rate is, but could we buy this off you, madame?
Put your wallet away and keep it. It's worthless to me. Losing that egg bankrupted us. It put us out on the streets. But now we've bounced back. Satan and Gambade. Better than ever.
That's excellent to hear. Anyway, we must take our leave. You've been a huge help, madame.
We're going to kick that king's butt and get your egg back.
Hold on, we're supposed to be the defense. Monsieur Kingsley, we need your help.
Finally. It's about time someone around here appreciated my skills. Your fishing skills, right? The term is angling, wise guy.
This has nothing to do with fishing. Let me cut the preamble. We are looking for people who have positive stories about the king. Would you happen to have any?
Stories, huh? You came to the right guy. I have a whale of a story for you. So the other day, I was fishing, and I caught this monster of a catfish. It was 2 meters long, easily. Here we go. I caught a fish and it was this big. Oh sure, I drag a 90-kilogram falcon out of the water and everyone buys it. I can't claim to catch one big fish and suddenly everyone's a skeptic.
Please, continue your story, Monsieur Kingsley.
Oh, right. So anyway, the king of all people happens to be walking by with his entourage. And they all clapped and cheered and came over to see the fish. And then the king says, I'm hungry. Let's cook this fellow up. And then he just walks off with my fish. Can you believe it?
I can believe that. It seems like something a royal penguin would do.
Did you at least get paid for your fish? Oh yes. One of the royal guards was nice enough to flip 1 franc my way. 1 franc! He may as well have just flipped a bird. No offense. Aha! So the king supports the local fishing industry. I'm writing this down.
I have no idea if this story will be of any use to us, but we appreciate your time, monsieur. Good day to you.
Bye, Monsieur Fisherman. Hey, don't call me a fisherman.
Biblioteca. Okay, here we go. Nathan never lets us down for useful information. I'm sure he's got something interesting and pleasant to say about the king. Oh, it's you, messieurs. Perhaps you will surprise me today and actually ask to take out a book.
Nope, just the usual today. An endless stream of questions.
You two need an encyclopedia. Well, go on then. Ask whatever drivel you want to ask. Have you ever met King Louis Philippe? I have. As a matter of fact, he occasionally drops by this library to check out books. Unlike some people. What sort of books does he check out, monsieur? Thick books. I believe the last one he checked out was An Expansive History of the Macedonian Empire. I had no idea that His Majesty was interested in academic history.
I'll make a note. King Louis Philippe is a well-read and intelligent man.
It must be said that the books are usually returned with footprints on the covers. This leads me to believe that the king may just use them to stand on during speeches. Oh.
We'll just leave that part out.
Was there anything else? From your well-educated standpoint, is King Louis Philippe a good leader, as far as leaders go? Well, I can't fault the king's pro-business spirit. The big industry leaders love him.
Oh, this sounds promising.
Of course, this comes at the expense of everyone who isn't a bourgeoisie. The wealth divide is stronger than ever.
Maybe not.
You can forget about socially progressive policies. The king signs off on all of Guizot's backward-thinking policies. And of course, in terms of leadership and charisma, the king is about as personable as a rotten pear. That'll do, monsieur. A simple no would have sufficed. That'll be all. Thank you for your time and patience, monsieur. I look forward to your next round of idiotic questions. I really do. Ah, just the dodo I wanted to see. Madame Cornel, quick question. Have you ever served the King of France?
Good one, hun. That's hilarious. Heh, me, serving the king. Me. Would you like some wine, your majesty? Teehee. I can't wait to serve the king of Denmark. I think that was a no.
And I think you may be right. Inspector Volerti. Hello, Inspector. Falcon! J. Falcon. Yes? I think I made a mistake.
I'll say. Do I see 2 empty bottles of Russian vodka? It's a mystery how you're still standing.
No. Listen. This is important. Inspector, maybe we should have this conversation when you're a little more sober. No, Falcon. Listen. Falcon. Falcon. I thought you were the Warden Killer. The what? The Viridian Killer. The man who injured me in the Dresden bomb. You thought I was the Viridian Killer. How did you even come to that conclusion? I saw that you changed your name around 1830 and you made an assumption. Wait, is that why you gave Savory a tip-off? Were you trying to lure the animal out of me or something? I'm sorry, Falcon. It was a mistake. Do you forgive me? No. Falcon, please.
Jeez, Falcon. Put the poor old bird out of his misery.
He nearly got you, me, and Severin killed.
Yeah, but look at how sorry he is. At least humor the guy.
Fine. All is forgiven, Inspector. I forgive you for assuming that I'm a mass murderer and then for nearly killing me and Severin in order to prove it. Oh, then... Thank you, Falcon. Now, listen closely, Inspector. I have a favor to ask of you. A favor? For you, JJ? Anything.
Maybe we should wait until the inspector's a little more coherent.
No. I want to help. I must pay back my debt. Excellent. So Severin and I are planning a case. A very big case. Against the King of France. We intend on trying him before the rebels can get their hands on him. When the rebellion starts, we would like you to bring the king to the courthouse. Do you think you can do that? Inspector. Treason! You're sympathizers to the rebel cause. This isn't treason, Inspector. We're ensuring the safest outcome to an inevitable revolution. You're treason. You're treason. You're scum.
Told you. Incoherent.
Yeah, I guess you were right, Sparrowson. Well, Inspector, maybe you should contact us if you change your mind. And once you've sobered up. Excuse me, Judge Maxime. Oh, hello, Falcon. Nice work on the catacombs business. Word is really spread about your impromptu lawyering skills. Really, I'm gaining a reputation.
Hey, I helped too.
Of course you did, Robinson?
Sparrowson.
Right, Sparrowson. Sparrowton. Judge Maxime, I don't suppose Monsieur Cocorico has filled you in on what we've been working on since then. No, he hasn't. How to put this? We're planning a trial, of sorts. We intend on forming a case against,
the king.
Right, and,
We want you to educate.
A trial against the king? Interesting. What are his exact charges? I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. That seems more like Severin's territory. And if you aren't even sure of that, then I don't think you're quite prepared for this trial. Maybe you should leave this to lawyers who have a little more experience. I see. Well, thank you anyway. Let's make a move, Sparrowton.
What about our judge?
It doesn't matter. Let's focus on building a solid defense case for the king, and we can wing it from there. Well, we can even hold the trial without any judges at all. Just Cocorico, me, and the king in the middle. Strange, Falcon. You're like your grandfather. And yet, you're nothing like him. But wait, you knew my grandfather? Well, I won't say knew. I was just a teenager when he was causing havoc in the courtrooms. But of course, I am familiar with his work. Falcon, I find your career choice peculiar. Your grandfather worked so hard to prosecute King Louis XIV, and yet here you are, rigorously working to defend your own king. Just like him, you would make an excellent prosecutor. So why did you choose the rocky path of the private defender? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I just wanted to take myself out of my grandfather's shadow. I want to carve my own path as a lawyer. I don't want to be a poor imitation of an old hero. Quite understandable. Oh, just look at the time. I'm due back in the courtroom. But before I go, let me just say that I would be happy to educate your trial, Falcon. Really? That's fantastic. Thank you, Your Honor. It's no trouble. Show me what the grandson of Maximilian Robespierre is capable of.
What's the plan for today? Hitting the Louvre? Checking out Les Halles, maybe?
Actually, I was thinking... Severin, how rude. Don't they teach you to knock? No time for bickering, JJ. It's time. Time? For what? The trial, you dunce. Already? A large protest has started to form at the Palistic Court. No doubt it will turn into an unruly mob before long. The spirit of revolution is in the air. We must act now. I'm going to start the necessary preparations at the courthouse, so I need you to get the king from the Police Royale. You want me to drag the king to the courthouse? I'm not even sure I could drag him from his chair. Use diplomacy, you dolt. I'm sure you'll think of something. Right. Come along, Sparrowson. We have a king to defend. Falcon and Sparrowson rush across the city. Scores of angry eyes watch the pair's every movement. Cocorico was right. The spirit of revolution is in the air. Outside the Police Royale, a crowd has started to form. The Royal Guards watch in nervous anticipation.
3,600 and...
Save it! We're number one.
You again? Shouldn't you be in jail? There's no time for this nonsense.
Your Majesty, we need you to come with us.
Why?
There's a trial.
Well, why didn't you say so? I love trials. Ooh, am I needed to give a testimony? Please say it so.
As a matter of fact, Your Majesty, yes, I think you will need to give testimony.
Oh, goody, goody, goody. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Did anyone spot us? I don't think so. It's still early. The crowds are only just starting to form. With any luck, we can get this trial over with before anyone realizes what's going on. You.
Uh-oh.
You treasonous scumbags. You actually captured the king.
Captured? Clearly a joke, Your Majesty. Ah, very subtle. I like it.
So it's true. You do intend to hold a trial. Your actions are utterly despicable. You are all on the same level as the filthy rebel dissenters. Do you intend to stop us, Inspector? On any other day, I would. You are rotten lawbreakers through and through. I want nothing more than to see you tried and punished for your traitorous stances. But I owe a debt. To you, Falcon, and to Monsieur Cocorico. So you'll let us pass? I have ordered for a dozen national guards to set up a perimeter around the entrance of the Police de Justice. The rebels will inevitably catch word that the king is here. They will try to storm the building, and when they do, we will be ready to hold them off. That's amazing. Thank you, Inspector. Go on, before I change my mind. Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down.
Oh, should I be standing here? Am I in the right place?
Where you are is perfect, Your Majesty. Now, is everyone here? JJ Falcon, present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Severin Cocorico, present. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Ooh, this'll be good. I wonder who's on trial.
Are the jury all here?
All present and accounted for, Your Honor.
Everything seems to be in order. The court is now in session for the trial of King Louis Philippe.
Ooh, that's me. Wait, what?
Calm down, Your Majesty. We are simply prosecuting you for a short list of 32 crimes against the French people.
What is this madness? Did you set me up to this?
Well, yes and no. We're your defense, Your Majesty.
I'm so confused.
The process is simple. I'll state a charge that is being leveled at you and present my evidence for the charge. You, and your defense, will then have the opportunity to present their own counter-evidence.
I'm even more confused.
Just let us do the talking, Your Majesty. We're doing this for your own good.
We wouldn't want you to end up like old Louis XVI now, would we?
Let us proceed. Prosecution, present the first charge. King Louis Philippe, you are being charged with neglecting the lower classes of the nation. Your continued support of the Guizdot's outdated policies have resulted in an ever-growing wage gap. Poverty is rampant. Animals are forced to turned to begging, thievery, and burglary just to survive. How do you justify this vile attitude?
Goodness, you're going straight for the jugular, aren't you? I'm a good person. I don't hate poor people. I feel mild contempt for them, certainly, but don't we all?
Please allow me to do the talking, Your Majesty. Severin, the king is far kinder to poor people than the general populace has been led to believe. Some would even describe him as a generous philanthropist.
Who? Who would describe him as a generous philanthropist?
Some would.
You're going to have to do better than that. Show me an example. Just one example of the king being generous to a poor person.
I would like to present this story. It is the account of a person who was a sick and starving beggar. One day, this beggar was approached by the king. Did the king offer the beggar money? No. He offered something far better. He offered the beggar financial advice.
It's true. I did do that.
Where's that beggar now? He runs a successful business that can pull 40 francs from a single client transaction.
Amazing. And the ex-beggar attributes the king for his radical transformation.
Well, he didn't say so directly, but it was implied.
Interesting. Would you mind telling us the name of this person?
He's a man named Renard Vulpes.
Oh, Renard Vulpes, the trickster and con artist who runs that deplorable private investigation service.
You're familiar with him?
Of course. That fox has been meddling in trials and disturbing investigations for years. If this is the caliber of person that's produced by the king's financial advice, then we should all be deeply concerned. Oh dear.
Outside the Police Royale, protesters charge at the building's gates, effortlessly overcoming the royal guards. Looters take the opportunity to overrun and ransack the building.
Where on earth is that accursed king? Piero. No sign of him, ma'am. Rumor is he's gone and fled the building, same as Gizot. The Prime Minister and the King both fled before we even started our assault? How is that even possible?
Madam Before, I found someone who may be of use.
Oh dear. A royal guard? Nice find, Fontaine. Speak, duck. Tell us where the king is. Ha! You think me a common turncoat. I would have you know that I am the mighty Officer Beck. I would sooner die than betray my country. Okay. The police state justice. A couple of lawyers came and took him to the police state justice. That was easy. Piero, Fontaine, gather the crowd. We're marching on the police state justice.
What are we up to? Charge 12? Please continue, prosecutor.
Very well. King Louis Philippe, you stand accused of crushing small businesses in favor of supporting wealthier industry giants. Such a nepotic attitude only serves to discourage people from forming their own enterprises. I disagree. As a self-made businessman, the king has constantly shown his support for all businesses, big and small. Another ludicrous assertion from the defense. Prove me wrong, JJ. When has the king ever shown support for a grassroots business? I would like to present this story. It is the account of a angler, who recently caught an enormous catfish from the Seine. Some say the fish was as large as 2 meters. Upon catching the fish, the king congratulated the man and offered him compensation for his efforts. Compensation for his efforts? You mean he bought the fish? In so many words, yes. Well, putting aside how weak an example that is of a man supporting local businesses, I see a much more pressing issue. There is no way that a fisherman caught a 2-meter catfish from the Seine. What if he had killer bait? Like, say, a box of high-end chocolates? Ludicrous! No one would be stupid enough to use chocolates as fishing bait. You guys can't be serious.
Outside the doors of the Tribunal de Grande, Inspector Volerti watches the ever-growing crowd of protesters. The National Guard poised their bayonets, keeping the angry mob at bay. Disgusting rabble, the lot of them. Oh, it looks like the guards are letting someone through. An emissary of the rebels? Or perhaps one who considers themselves a leader?
Are you the officer in charge of this barricade?
I am.
I came to talk to you directly. I feel we can settle this maturely. No violence, no casualties.
Wouldn't that be marvelous?
We have only one demand. That is, that you stand aside and let me escort the king out of the building. Grant me that, and I will order the crowd to disperse.
I don't know if this is your first revolution, mademoiselle, but it certainly isn't mine. If your protesters want the king, then they will have to get past the line of National Guards. And I don't think your people have the skill, equipment, or raw numbers to accomplish such a feat. I believe we're up to the last charge, are we not?
Correct. Charge 32.
King Louis Philippe, you are accused of being an imbecile. You are mentally unfit to run this country.
No need to get personal.
It isn't a crime to be an idiot, Severin.
Thankfully. If it were, we would all be doing hard time right now.
Illegal, no. But it does raise the question of why we are giving an idiot so much power. Let's not follow the example of Great Britain, who let the Mad King, George III, rule for decades past his prime. King Louis Philippe is neither mad nor stupid. He is an intelligent and competent individual.
How have you know that I'm only competent on prude days?
Your Majesty, please. You've chosen an impossible battle, JJ. The king's idiocy is widely accepted. I urge you to prove me wrong. Show me one shred of evidence that the king is not a blithering idiot. I would like to present this account given by a local librarian. He asserts that the king is something of an avid reader. Picture books don't count, JJ. Oh, I had no idea that An Expansive History of the Macedonian Empire was a picture book. The king has been known to check out as many as a dozen thick books in a single day, covering a whole range of subjects. Face the facts, Severin. The king is an educated man. Perhaps a test is in order. That won't be necessary. What is the name of the book you mentioned? An Expansive History of the Macedonian Empire? Tell me, Your Majesty, where is Macedonia?
Where?
Yes, I'll even make it easy. Just tell us the name of the continent.
What continent is Macedonia in?
You can do this, Your Majesty.
It's a 1 in 7 shot. Can you really do it?
I want to say Africa, but
I've got it. London.
Oh, mon Dieu. I think we're done here, Your Honor. As I have demonstrated in excruciating detail, the king is incompetent, lazy, stupid, and occasionally malicious. He isn't fit to run a bakery, let alone a nation. Very well, prosecutor. Does the defense have anything to add? Yes, Your Honor. I've got nothing. I've defended this man to the best of my abilities, and I have nothing more to say. Very good. Then I shall now converse with the jury. We shall determine precisely which crimes the king is guilty of, and decide on an appropriate punishment.
But punishment? Lawyer man, you have to do something. I'm scared.
Calm down, Your Majesty. The whole purpose of this trial was to see that your punishment is fair and fitting. You're not going to end up with your head on a spike. At least, I don't think you will. That mademoiselle is returning. How naive. Negotiations are over, mademoiselle.
Once again, I ask that you let me pass. Let me extract the king without issue, and then we shall be on our way. I warn you, the protesters are getting rowdy. Any moment now, they might charge on their own accord.
Your commitment to pacifism is admirable, but you are brimming with naivety, mademoiselle. Be on your way.
I warned you that your methods were too passive, madam.
That foul voice. Show yourself, wolf.
You're the friar who gave me the tip-off about the croque-monsieur.
Was my information no good, Inspector? Did I not say how and when you could reach the croque-monsieur?
You omitted a few details. Your words almost killed a few acquaintances of mine.
Well, Inspector, it seems that you and I agree on something. This wolf has a forked tongue.
There's no need to direct your hatred at me, madam. I came here to give a gift. A peace offering.
You have nothing to offer.
I most certainly do. Do you know that the tunnels of the sleeping city wind straight under the Palais de Justice? It's true. If one were to put enough gunpowder in the right spot, one could even take an entire side of the building down.
What are you prattling on about?
How much gunpowder do you think it would take, madam? 50 kilograms? 100? Maybe 200 kilograms, just to be safe.
Friar, tell me you didn't.
The fuse is lit. In 20 seconds, the pillars of the Palais de Justice will fall like the temples of Dagon. Running will do you no good, you brother-killing pute.
You're bluffing. There will be no explosion.
You would like that to be the case, wouldn't you, Inspector? But unfortunately for you, the Viridian Killer emerges one last time.
You! I must congratulate you, JJ. No, Falcon. You argued excellently. I am unsure of the penguin's fate as you are, but one thing is for certain. You could not have done your job any better. Thank you, Cocorico. After a small amount of deliberation, we have come to a decision. We find the defendant, King Louis Philippe, to be... Mon Dieu! What was that?
An explosion. It sounded like it came from right outside. I hate to, be the bearer of, bad news, but, in a manner of speaking, how to put this?
For pity's sake, spit it out, monsieur.
Rebels! It's the rebels! There's a big explosion at the entrance, and rebels are pouring into the building as we speak.
You heard the rabbit. Everyone clear out. Your Honor, quickly, what was the verdict? Really? In a time like this? There is no better time. Exile, now get out of here. Court is adjourned. A valiant effort, Falcon, but we're out of both time and options. If the rebels want the king so badly, they can take him.
You can't say that. The rooster's got a point, Falcon. Let's just turn the king over and let him receive his dues. We've done all we can.
No, you two give up far too easily. Sparrowson, Cocorico, we're escorting the king to R&M Associates.
Reynard's place? What can he do?
If anyone has the power to make the king disappear, it would be that conniving fox.
Yeah, that might just work. Come along, your majesty. Oh dear.
Come on, Cocorico. No time to dawdle. I'm staying. For there to be any chance of your ridiculous plan succeeding, someone must stay behind to delay the rebels. Cocorico. Go. I've got this. Good luck.
That damned wolf nearly killed a lot of us. You're the one harboring the king.
It's a pleasure to see you again, too, madame.
Don't get snarky. Where is he?
You're too late. The king has long left the building. For all I know, he could be halfway to Guadalupe by now.
So he's already gone. Damn. There goes my opportunity to enact justice.
Enact justice? You should have seen the trial, madam. Everything was official, professional, and logical. It was the most brilliant display of justice that I've ever seen.
But the king
is in the process of receiving a fitting punishment.
Cocorico, did my father receive a fitting punishment when you were the prosecutor at his trial 10 years ago?
No, madam. But every day since then, I've strived towards justice, and I shall continue to do so for the rest of my days.
See that you do.
Do hurry up, Your Majesty.
This is taking forever.
You aren't going any further.
It's that friar.
I'm not going to let you take another step towards the king.
I didn't come here for the king. I came to kill you, J.J. Falcon.
Very well. Sparrowson, take the king and hurry to Draynard's. I'll handle this monster.
Are you sure you'll be okay?
I can handle one crippled wolf.
Okay, come on, Your Majesty.
That explosion at the courthouse. That wasn't just the rebels, was it?
Heh, of course not. That was to take out the murderous Pute who killed my brother.
Madame Beaumont.
She was the madam who pulled the trigger, but it was your words that sentenced him.
And I would do it again. You and your brother are heinous individuals.
Call us what you like. It doesn't matter anymore. Your blood must pay for his. An eye for a eye. That is the way of the judges of old.
You don't appear armed.
I don't need a gun or sword to kill you. There are 100 kilograms of gunpowder beneath our very feet. One more step, and this entire area will go.
Vile scum. Inspector, just in time. You look a little singed.
Did you hear that explosion, Monsieur Volpes?
I did. It seems that the rumors are true, Mousy. The revolution is in full swing.
Go on, get in there. Visitors, Monsieur Volpes, visitors.
I wonder who... Oh my, King Louis Philippe. Good afternoon, Your Majesty.
Are you... Monsieur Volpes?
I am, and this is my companion, Mousy.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Majesty.
I must admit, I rarely have a gentleman of your caliber in this office. Please, have a seat. Mousy, fetch His Majesty some tea.
Right away. I hear you can make people disappear.
Ah, yes. A new identity, a new face. Indeed, I can make that happen. Of course, there is a price.
How much?
Normally, such a service would cost 100 francs, but for you, Your Majesty, 10,000.
10,000 francs? I don't carry that sort of money on my person.
Ah, I'm sure you can find a way. That crown on your head and the egg in your hand would surely be enough to pay for this exquisite service.
You are a crook, Monsieur Volpes.
Now, let's not call each other names. We are both grown men. Now let's see, you'll need a disguise. Ah, here we go. Go, put this on.
How do I look?
Mousy, could you come in here for a moment, please?
What is it, Monsieur Volpes? Oh, who's this cockatoo? Where'd King Louis Philippe go?
You see, Your Majesty?
It's that convincing.
Of course, but we'll have to give you a new name and identity to match your new look. We need a name that is original yet ordinary, subtle yet exquisite.
John Smith.
Brilliant, Mousy. Monsieur, your name is now John Smith. You are an upstanding English gentleman.
Je m'appelle John Smith.
That's no good. We'll have to work on your English accent. Repeat after me. My name is John Smith.
My name is John Smith.
Wow, did you grow up in London, Your Majesty? Your accent is impeccable.
Really?
Tell him, Mousy.
I didn't understand any of it, so it must have been perfect English.
Disguise, name, accent. I think we're all set. Are you ready, Monsieur Smith?
I don't think so.
Of course you're ready. Flee, Monsieur, flee! Take a horse to Calais, and from there, hire a boat to take you to the shores of England.
Do you think he'll make it to England, Monsieur Volpes?
With that disguise, Mousy, I think our client would be lucky to make it down the street. Come on, let's return this egg to Sautain.
Come on, Birdbrain. Time's a wasting. Well, well, well. Look who finally decided to get up.
Give me a break. My legs are killing from running all over Paris. Besides, we just had the keys of a century. I think we're allowed 1 day to relax. Let's play some Jacques Noir.
Nuh-uh. Look at this stack of mail we have to reply to.
Mail?
Inspector Volerti has asked us to sign off on some paperwork regarding the death of Freya Remus. Cocorico wants us to arrange a lunch meeting to discuss potential future collaborative projects. And Madame Beaumont has asked us to help establish a constitution for the Second Republic, if you can believe that. Plus, we have, like, a dozen requests for legal work from other citizens of Paris. I guess word has gotten around about our involvement in the King's trial, huh?
Mon Dieu. So much to do. But all I want is to take a holiday.
Hey, Falcon, do you think we're about to see some changes?
Changes?
The old king is gone. Their prime minister has resigned. The Second Republic is kicking off. I'm just saying, do you think this could be the start of a new era of peace for Paris? No idea, huh? Me neither. France has a scary, unwritten future ahead of it.
But enough talk about politics, Sparrowson. Let's go pick up some breakfast.
Sounds good. I feel like ponzu chocolate.
Alright, well, that was Aviary Attorney. Finn. Whew. Time to do something else.